They said it was politics. They said it was about the oil beneath the ground. They said it was just another dictator falling in the dust of history. But God, pause, look straight into the camera. God said it was judgment. We are living in days that the prophets whispered about in their sleep. We are walking through the valley that Jeane Dixon saw through a glass darkly 50 years ago. She warned us. Oh yes, she warned us. She told us that a man from the south would rise like a tower of iron and fall like a house of cards. She told us that when he fell, it wouldn't be the end. It would be the beginning of a shaking that would rattle the teeth of the Americas. And on January 3rd, 2026, the prophecies stopped being words on a page. It became flesh. It became fire. It became reality. Maduro is gone. The streets of Caracas are smoking. But the spirit of that nation is trembling. And if you think this is just about Venezuela, you are sleeping through the alarm. This is a mirror, brothers and sisters. This is a sign for us. Before we open the book of truth today, I want you to look at your screen. We are gathering here not as an audience, but as a congregation of witnesses. If you believe that God still reveals his secrets to his servants, if you believe that nothing happens under the sun without the Father knowing it, then press that subscribe button right now. Don't just watch. Join this prayer circle. Like this video to bear witness to the truth. Let us walk into this mystery together. Let me take you back to that night. Just a few days ago. January 3rd, 2026. The world was sleeping. Most of us were still cleaning up the wrapping paper from Christmas, still writing down New Year's resolutions we probably won't keep. But in the spiritual realm, the clock had struck midnight. Jeane Dixon, that humble servant who saw the death of Kennedy before the bullet was cast, she spoke of a sudden removal. She didn't say a war. She didn't say a long siege. She said sudden, like a thief in the night. Reports tell us it was United States Special Forces. Helicopters cutting through the humid air of Caracas like black angels. No warning. No negotiation. Just the swift hand of judgment. They went in for Nicolas Maduro, the man who had sat on the throne of power, convinced that his walls were too high, his guards too loyal, his grip too tight. But let me tell you something about walls. You can build them to the sky. You can reinforce them with steel and surround them with armies. But when the Lord says, "It is finished," those walls become dust. Ask Jericho. Ask Babylon. Ask Belshazzar, who drank wine from holy cups until the handwriting appeared on the wall. Mean, tekel, upharsin. You have been weighed in the balances, and you are found wanting. Maduro thought he was the lion of the South. But that night, as the rotors spun and the flashbangs popped, he wasn't a lion. He was just a man. A frightened man. Stripped of his pomp. Stripped of his power. Taken away in the blink of an eye. Boom. The explosions rocked the Capitol. Boom. The internet went black. Boom. The world woke up and gasped. How did this happen? They asked on CNN. What are the geopolitical implications? They asked on Fox News. But you and I? We know. We know that Jeane Dixon saw a leader of the South falling suddenly, leaving a vacuum that would suck the air out of the room. She saw the chaos not as a mistake, but as a destiny. He is gone now. Sitting in a cell somewhere, or maybe exiled to a land that doesn't want him. But the scary part, the truly terrifying part, isn't the man who left. It's the silence he left behind. Jeane Dixon wrote a phrase that has haunted me for 40 years. She said, "When the lion is gone, the serpent will speak." Listen to me. Do not let the news fool you. Do not let the cheering crowds on Twitter fool you. Yes, the tyrant is removed. Yes, the statues are being pulled down. But Jesus taught us a principle in Matthew chapter 12. He said when an unclean spirit goes out of a man, it walks through dry places seeking rest. And if it finds none, it says, I will return to my house. And if it finds that house empty, swept and garnished but empty, it brings with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself. Venezuela right now is that empty house. The lion, the dictator, is gone. But who is filling the house? Is it righteousness? Is it justice? Or is it confusion? We are seeing a reaction that the news won't show you. I want you to look at the spirit of the people. They are not dancing in the streets like they did when the Berlin Wall fell. No. There is a silence in Caracas today. A heavy, thick silence. The churches are full, yes. People are packing into the cathedrals. But they aren't singing victory in Jesus. They are weeping. They are trembling. Because they know what Jeane Dixon knew. They know that chaos is the devil's playground. Right now, in the shadows, the gangs are moving. The false messiahs are stepping up to the podiums. Men in suits with smooth tongues are promising bread, but they are hiding stones in their pockets. The serpent will speak. Dixon warned that the fall of the leader was not the end of the trouble, but the start of the deception. She saw great confusion spreading from Venezuela, a time when brother would not trust brother. When the neighbor you drank coffee with yesterday looks at you with suspicion today. This is the climax of the prophecy. Not the explosion, not the arrest, but the spiritual vacuum. The people are hungry, not just for arepas and bread, but for truth. And a starving man. Hear me, church, a starving man will eat poison if you tell him it's food. That is the danger. That is the cliffhanger we are standing on right now. The devil doesn't mind losing a dictator if he can gain a whole generation through despair. And do you think this fire will stop at the border? Do you think a fire in the kitchen doesn't heat up the living room? Jeane Dixon pointed her finger at the map of South America and she traced a line of dominoes. She spoke of the green and golden land, Brazil. She spoke of the mountains of the north, Colombia. She warned that the shaking in Venezuela was just the first tremor of an earthquake that would crack the continent. Look at what is happening today. Brazil has closed its borders. But because fear is contagious. Colombia is mobilizing its troops. But because instability flows like water, it goes to the lowest point. Dixon predicted that the spiritual blindness of one nation would test the faith of its neighbors. She said, "They will watch the fall and they will tremble, not because they are different, but because they are the same." Think about that. Because they are the same. Venezuela was rich. Venezuela was proud. Venezuela had oil, beauty, resources. And in one generation, it turned to ash. Brazil, are you watching? Peru, are you listening? America, are we paying attention? The consequence of this event isn't just a refugee crisis. It is a spiritual crisis of faith. Millions of people across Latin America are asking God, "Where are you?" And when people ask that question, if the church doesn't answer, the devil will. We are seeing the rise of anger. We are seeing the rise of hopelessness. And Jeane Dixon told us, the final battle will not be fought for territory. It will be fought for the mind. We are watching the mind of a continent being fought over. Right now. While we sit here in comfort, I want to ask you a question. And I want you to answer it in the comments below, because I need to know that you are awake. Question: do you believe that God is using this event to wake up the world, or is this the beginning of the end times chaos? Write, "wake up," or "end times" in the comments. Let your voice be heard. Now, we have to look in the mirror. We have to look at the eagle, the United States of America. In Dixon's vision, she saw a force from the north, clothed in white, but carrying a sword. Some people say we are liberators. Some say we are invaders. But biblically, we look a lot like Cyrus. King Cyrus of Persia was a pagan king, but God used him to free the Israelites. God used him to break the gates of bronze and cut through the bars of iron. Was Cyrus perfect? Was his empire holy? But he was an instrument. America has stepped into Venezuela like an instrument of history. We cut the head off the snake. But Jeane Dixon warned the force from the north, too. She warned us about pride. She said, "He who holds the sword must be careful not to fall on it." We can remove a dictator with a drone strike. We can secure an oil field with a battalion of Marines. But we cannot, hear me, we cannot export righteousness. We cannot bomb a nation into being holy. If America thinks that we are the savior of Venezuela, we are making a golden calf of our own power. We are only the hammer. God is the carpenter. And if the hammer thinks it is the hand, it will be cast aside. The reaction here at home is divided. Half the country is cheering. Half the country is afraid this will start World War III. And that fear is real. Because when you shake the hive, the bees don't just stay in the garden. They come out. Russia is watching. China is watching. The chess pieces are moving. But God is playing a game they don't understand. So where do we go from here? Is there hope for Venezuela? Is there hope for us? I turn my Bible to Ezekiel chapter 37. The Lord took the prophet out to a valley, and it was full of bones. And he asked, "Son of man, can these bones live?" Venezuela today is a valley of dry bones. The economy is dead. The government is dead. The trust is dead. But Jeane Dixon, in her final years, she always spoke of dawn. She said, "The darkest hour is the womb of the morning." She believed that out of this chaos, a remnant would rise. Not a political party, but a people of faith. She saw a revival starting not in the cathedrals, but in the kitchens, in the basements, in the secret places. She saw grandmothers praying over empty pots, and those pots being filled with the Spirit. This is the path forward. It is a path of suffering. I won't lie to you. The road ahead for Venezuela is rocky. It is steep, but it is the path to redemption. God is breaking the pride of a nation so he can heal the heart of the people. Sometimes, Lord have mercy, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to realize the rock at the bottom is Jesus. But the prophecy isn't done. Dixon said there would be one more sign. A sign in the sky that would mark the turning of the tide. We haven't seen it yet, but I feel it coming. Can you feel it? My beloved brothers and sisters, we have looked into the fire today. We have seen the prophecy of Jeane Dixon come alive in 2026. Venezuela is the lesson, but you are the student. God is shouting to the nations. He is saying, "Return to me." He is shaking the powers of the earth to show us that the only kingdom that cannot be shaken is his kingdom. Don't put your trust in presidents. They can be captured in a night. Don't put your trust in money. It can burn in an hour. Put your trust in the Ancient of Days. If this message touched your spirit today, I don't want you to just scroll away. I want you to make a mark. Go to the comments and write, "I am listening, Lord." Declare it. Let the algorithm know, let the world know, and let the heavens know that you are watching. And if you want to follow this journey, if you want to know what happens when the next seal is broken, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. We are the watchmen on the wall, and we will not sleep. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he shine his face upon you and give you peace, even when the world is at war. Until next time, keep your lamps trimmed and burning.